Hello friends and welcome to the Weekend Catch-Up Club, the coffee morning show brought to you live every Saturday direct to Facebook and Twitch and available later on demand at youtube.com/gamertagged and podcast services. Grab yourself some snacks, grab a drink and hang out with us for just a little while, because joining me today is a very special guest, the digital design manager at SEGA Europe, Marta Camilo. Enjoy. Marta, welcome to the show, and what a great pleasure to have you here. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I appreciate the invites and honored to be here.
And also a massive congratulations to your It's Game Hers award nominations. Oh my goodness. Tell us all about that first.
Oh, very, very unexpected. I got nominated amongst some incredible streamers for Top Charity Streamer of the Year award at the Gamers Award, which celebrates women and self-identifying females. And it just has been a blast. I don't get nominated for things or win awards or anything like that. So it's a bit of a different experience. But it has been great because I do a lot of charity streams, and since being nominated, it's great. Just hopefully it will help, push fundraising a little bit further, maybe raise awareness for some new charities. So it's exciting stuff. I have no chance of becoming a finalist, but people have been very kind for voting for me and supporting me, and that has been great. But definitely a different experience for sure.
Well, I dropped a vote earlier today for you as well. I felt like I kind of had to because you're guesting on the show as well. So.
I really appreciate it. Very kind of you.
So speaking of all the charity streams and stuff, you obviously work at SEGA, you appear regularly on their streams and doing a lot of work there. We'll get into your role properly at SEGA in a little bit, but being on such a major platform as the SEGA channel, does that allow you to just get a broader, obviously, voice, being able to raise awareness for a lot of causes that are really you really feel strongly about, and then kind of get that message out there to raise money for all these amazing causes?
Yeah, I mean, of course, working for SEGA is an absolute blessing, and it is an incredible company. It's like anyone will tell you that. Anyone that works for SEGA will tell you that we are very open and strong when it comes to supporting causes that not only the people that play our games care about, but the people that work at SEGA care about. And those two come together quite often. So as you mentioned, I started streaming on the SEGA channel, and I often show up. They can't get rid of me. I often show up on the SEGA streams, which is a lot of fun, and I couldn't be more grateful for having the opportunity just to hang out with the community and having a good time while playing some of my favorite games that happen to be SEGA games. But definitely, funny enough, I found that I had a bigger voice when it came to charity streams on my own channel, which is very curious considering how big the SEGA platform is. But SEGA is huge and has such a massive reach, and I'm sure you have seen this before, but we've been supporting different charities together with many collaborators and streamers and content creators, that all of us coming together have raised some silly amounts of money for some incredible charities. So SEGA definitely makes a huge difference when it comes to that. It makes me really proud to be someone, not only as someone that works at SEGA, but as a content creator, part-time content creator, being able to get together with fans and people that really care about SEGA games and raise money and awareness towards important charities. So that has definitely has been an experience. It's something that, again, not only as staff, but as a content creator, I'm really proud to see. And I hope we get to do more good stuff in the future.
I hope so as well. It's always amazing to see whenever any streamer, for that matter, is doing a charity fundraising, whether it is the 24 hours for special effect or a game blast and all these kind of things. And I've always noticed that, goddamn, SEGA seem to always go all out. They start on the Friday and then you don't end until the Sunday. It's not just the one stream. It's like a relay race for pretty much everybody on the comms team and obviously within the company as well, just kind of, I want to be part of this. And then you do like this handoff, and it's just an incredible thing. And of course, you get to have some pretty sweet giveaways for, donations and prize draws and stuff. It's pretty awesome.
I'm biased, but we have some good games. We have,
just a few. Just a few.
It's like over 60 years legacy over here. So maybe we have some good stuff. But yeah, it's amazing to be able to, since people are behind us when they couldn't give so much support towards us when it comes to charity streams and contributing and getting together. It's good to be able to give back as well, and being able to share the love with some giveaways and giving a little bit of the taste of the stuff that we work on for the people that are there for us as well. So it's a nice feeling.
Totally, that's the thing as well. It's like I'm pretty sure that a lot of maybe Sega fans don't quite realize the sheer breadth of games and studios that actually come under the Sega banner. It's not just my personal favorite, Streets of Rage. It's not just Sonic the Hedgehog or Golden Axe or those classics. It's like Creative Assembly, Alien Isolation, which I caught your stream just the other day about. It was very funny, very good. I know, but it's like the Total War games, the strategy games, 2 Point Hospital. Obviously, the Yakuza games come under like Sega as a publisher. It is so insane, just like to see Sega having these massive amount of games. It's ridiculous. It's insane.
Oh yeah, it's absolute madness, and it's like, I'm very lucky to be able to have my dirty little fingers on almost every single one of them. It's like, it's incredible to be able to work on titles that I grew up with being a fan, like the case you mentioned, like Streets of Rage, and being able to work on the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis Classics collections, and beyond, bringing some of the classics back, back into current generations so that more people can experience them. As someone that grew up with Sega and has been a Sega fan since I was a kid, it's definitely an experience. But like you were saying, this just so much more than that. And there's so many incredible titles and so many incredible studios that are part of the Sega family. And it's just wonderful to see. And myself as a professional in the industry, it's fantastic to be able to work with such different IPs, different brands, and different styles of games as well. So Sega has a lot to offer when it comes to that sort of experience.
Yeah. So speaking of, you are the digital design manager at Sega Europe. That sounds like a freaking dream job to me. It really does. So please tell us what that entails, and obviously how long you've been at Sega, and how that kind of entry point into the games industry that ultimately led you here all kind of started. I want to hear the backstory.
It feels like where to even begin. I feel like I have a bit of an underwhelming story when it comes of how I got into the video games industry. I usually say that luck is where preparation meets opportunity. Maybe I'm stealing this from someone.
That's a great saying, actually.
But I truly believe that like luck is where preparation meets opportunity. And what happened was, at the time when I first applied for Sega, so Sega had a role for a web designer at the time. And I was freelancing, and I started freelancing really early in my design career. So I'm a graphic designer by trade, with a high focus on digital design, so web design. And I was freelancing, but I was finding it a little bit lonely, a little bit like I was 6 months into what I considered to be quite a successful freelancing job. I was my own boss. It was great, but it was very early on in my career, and I was missing a little bit of that collaboration, being able to talk to other creatives. And it can be a bit daunting having to go into, for those people that may have freelance, maybe yourself, you have experienced this, having to go into studios or design agencies for a day or two. You don't get to know people, you don't get to talk to them as much. And even just working from home, it can, of course, many of us have experienced that now with the current world situation. But it was a bit of it was a bit lonely, and I felt like I was ready for a new challenge, even though it was great to be my own boss and to do my own thing. And there was I was surprised how successful how successfully I was able to do it. But it was time for a new challenge, and I was looking through, and I stumbled upon a role at Sega for web design, and I thought, oh wow, I could do this. I remember looking at the job spec and going, I could do this. And
I've got all of these skills. I like check, easy. Do that. I could do that.
Kind of. So it's like one of the things I always tell people when they're looking to apply for jobs anywhere, and this also applies to the video games industry, is that when a job spec is the ideal candidate, and a lot of times people go for someone that exists in an ideal world, and if they find that person is hired on the spot. However, that's not always the case. For the most part, people will have a certain set of skills, but not the others. Sometimes they have a little bit of everything. So it's quite a wide range. And I looked at it and I thought, I legit, in my head, being a huge fan of Sega, it was I very quickly became overwhelmed. I was like, they're not. I applied. I remember applying and going, they're never going to get back to me. I'm not going to hear back. And I didn't hear back for maybe a couple of months. And then I got an email back going, hey, would you like to come in for an interview? And I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And I remember thinking, okay, you're going to go into the Sega offices in London. We're going to make this an event, all right? Because I don't know if I'll be coming back. So
this is your chance, your shot.
This is my one shot. So I went in for the interview. Who interviewed me is today my boss and has become an incredible friend and a wonderful mentor. But at the time, I remember going for the interview, being so nervous. And I thought, you know how it goes. Interviews, sometimes you don't know exactly how well you did until you hear back. I got called in for a second interview after that, which again I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, I get to go there a second time. Okay, we need to absorb this because this might not happen again. I got asked. So one of the things that they did, particularly in creative fields, this is quite common. I got given a brief to redesign the Sega website. It's like something very simple, very quick. It sounds simple on paper. Yeah. Any creative knows that it's not quite like that. And I remember that the deadline happened to be on my birthday at the time, and I was working the whole day until the time, just to make sure that it was perfect, because I wanted the job so badly. Yeah. And they apparently liked what I did, so I got called in again. Long story short, the day I was called, I got our head of HR, who's a wonderful human as well, but he kept me on my toes. He was like, okay, Marta, so it was a very difficult choice, and it's just there were so many people applying for the role, and I was thinking, okay, he's letting I was like, he's letting me down nicely, he's gonna, and then at the end he was like, well, we think you're the best candidate for the role, and we'd love to have you work for us. Wow. So I remember just going, yeah, that sounds, yes, of course.
Trying to stay cool.
And I was like, let me think about it. I will have a think about it, and I'll get back to you. Okay? Yes, absolutely. We'll send the details. Yeah, of course. And I remember hanging up and going, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I thought I had so much luck throughout the whole process. I'm sorry, it's such a long story.
No, it's amazing. That's great to hear, because that's the kind of stuff that we don't always get to hear. Like, as fans, as other designers, we don't really get to understand or appreciate everybody else's journey into the industry. And I think it's so valuable to kind of, to hear that. It's like, I'm taking a punt. I've no idea. I've read, I've applied for jobs. You've applied for jobs in the past. You hear other people applying for jobs in the past that they either don't apply for them because they think on paper they don't hit the right criteria, but other times you think, okay, I'm taking a punt on this because I would love to work at this company. I love everything this company stands for, their values, their legacy, what they produce, things that you've heard, reputation, etc. But maybe you don't hit the criteria on a checklist of paper. But you just think, I've got to go for this, because if you don't apply for it, then then you're just going to be regretting it. And then somebody else will get the job and you're thinking, what? I'm so much better than them. I could have had that job, you know, that kind of thing. So
exactly. It's like, it's one of those things I always tell people, like the worst thing that can happen is that you never hear back. So many job opportunities you'll apply and you'll never hear back. But what if you do? What if they get back to you? If the worst thing that can happen is that you get told no, okay, cool. You tried. Amazing. But if you get an answer and they go, yeah, absolutely. I almost didn't apply exactly because I thought, oh, they're never gonna. And to this day, I'm still waiting for SEGA to figure out that I'm terrible at my job, and that I'm actually I've been there for almost 8 years now, over 7 years and a half, which is a bit of a long time, and I have high imposter syndrome, so it's like every day I'm like, one day they're going to figure out that I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm going to get booted. But so far, so good.
You just got to keep
don't
ducking.
Watch this, guys. It's fine.
You just got to keep ducking and weaving whenever the boss comes around to scan the office, just so they don't catch on, just in case.
Yeah, but it has been great. I've learned so much. I started as a web designer. I very quickly got promoted to a senior designer, and today I'm a digital design manager. I still do a wide range of the same things that I've been doing since the beginning. But I both do management and I'm a hands-on designer with experience in creative direction and digital outputs with a focus on commercial as well. So making sure that our websites are optimized so that people can use them easily. And I also have my hands on a lot of CRM campaigns, which involve emails. So if you sign up to some of the SEGA newsletters, you might be getting a personal email from me. Okay, maybe not personal, but I recommend checking it out. We have some good stuff.
I was gonna say like to congratulate you and the team on the SEGA 60th anniversary, but then I realized that was last year. And it's like, where the hell did the year go? It'd be 2021 already.
It has gone so fast. It has gone so fast. I can't take any credit, because it was such a team effort. Everyone did such a wonderful job, and it was just great to see. So it was wonderful, and it was great for. It's like it was quite funny with people going 60. I know we look great for 60, don't we? It's wonderful. But it was a labor of love for sure.
Yeah, Sonic can still run pretty fast for a 60-year-old. That's impressive. That's really impressive.
Sonic has celebrated his 30th recently, and that was great to work on as well. It's just fun. I think when you work in the video games industry, caring about the games that you work on makes such a huge difference. And I think it shows when the love is there, and it's for me. I'm quite fortunate that a lot of the SEGA games were the games I grew up with, and a lot of them are some of my favorite games. Yeah, so it's fun stuff.
So if you had the opportunity, like to use all of this clout that you have within SEGA to hypothetically bring back a franchise from the SEGA past that maybe that's maybe begging to.
No power. I have no power.
Come on.
It's all pretending.
So who am I going to bribe then if it's not you?
The good thing is, it's just within SEGA, they do listen to both staff and the community. So it's always great to be able to contribute to stuff. One of the things that it makes me really proud of when the SEGA Mega Drive Mini or the Genesis Mini, depending on where people are based. I got myself and some of my colleagues got called in because we were retro fans and we were SEGA fans from a very young age, and we got consulted because of our experience on that regard, and we were being asked, what games should we include and what should we do, and what do you think about the controllers? Should we go with these controls? So to me, it was absolutely incredible to be involved in something like
that's cool.
The Mega Drive Mini. When the Mega Drive was the first console I owned, that was mine. It's like I had the Spectrum that used to belong to my older brother. I played a lot of the Master System because my friends had one, so I played it a lot. But the Mega Drive was my first console, so that means it didn't have to do that. I wasn't directly involved in that department to be called upon to be asked for advice, but it shows the type of the type of company that Sega is, like listens both inside and outside. So they were
Totally.
willing to go, okay, you are the guys that like retro and you're fans of our games, like, from a very early age, and you are knowledgeable about this. We want to hear from you. And
Yeah.
it was great to be trusted, to be trusted with that, and to have a healthy discussion and a great insight as to, sometimes people ask, oh, why isn't this game included, that game included? But if you step foot into a meeting like that, you very quickly realize that it's not just okay, done. There's a lot of parties involved and a lot of things that need to be considered, particularly when this, is such a big company with so many wonderful titles. So it was great to be part of that. And again, they didn't have to, but they did.
Yeah.
That's what makes Sega probably one of the greatest places I've worked at recently.
Yeah, I remember when I was when the Mega Drive Mini first got like shown off and announced and then subsequently released, freaking out. And when I got it, doing the unboxing stuff as you do on like YouTube and everything, and showing it to friends and family members who had the original Mega Drives, this like huge console, and it's like, but look, they didn't do miniature controllers; they did the full size original controllers.
And how it's like, do you have one?
Oh,
do you have a Mini?
Yeah. I have the Mini.
How good do the controllers feel? Because legit, I remember testing it. It's like being part of the group of people testing it and going, this feels like the controllers I used to play. I love this. Yeah. This is great. And it was just great to see that, we, and not just us, because technically we're also part of the community. I work for Sega, but I'm also a Sega fan. So it's having that double, double side to me. But it was great to see that, it's like we're being listened to and things were taken into consideration. The care was there. I mean, you look at the Mega Drive Mini or Genesis Mini, and you can tell the labor of love that went into it. Such a wonderful piece of kit, such a wonderful retro nostalgia nugget that everyone should have in their collection if they're a Sega fan.
It's so accurate. It's like so meticulously detailed. And I picked up the two blue translucent controllers as well because I wanted them, because I had them, like the 6-button one, the black one, the black and grey one, the blue translucent one. I was like, I've got to get these, because I remember when Street Fighter originally came out on the home console. It was the first, I think, console it came to, and they released the special edition 6-button controller for it, because I had to replicate the arcade. I thought, I've got to have this, and it's sitting up on my shelf, way up there in the background behind me. And I just love it. I sometimes just, whenever I've got the friends round for a gaming night, it's like, guys, we're playing Sonic, we're like speed trials or something, or we're playing some Streets of Rage, or we're playing some Street Fighter, and here's your proper, legit 6-button controllers.
Yeah. 6-button controller is
good.
A treat. It's a treat. It's a great little controller right there.
I know. It's so funny as well, because like, the ergonomics of that controller, even today, feel goddamn comfortable in the hand.
They feel great.
Yeah.
I love both. Even like the 3-button is fantastic, but the 6-button absolutely. It's just so wonderful.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I was genuinely shocked at the 3-button Mini, the Mini, but the 3-button full size controller, because I'm an adult now. I have adult hands. I like to think I've got adult hands anyway. And this thing is like big. Yeah, it's like big enough. It's big. It's comfy. It's roomy. I'm thinking, how monstrous was this when I was only 8 years old or 10 years old, like playing with this thing?
I remember particularly the 3-button one, the original one that comes with the console, feeling quite big. But it feels fine, It's just like it wasn't. I bet it wasn't that that much, but it's funny to think about that.
It's not like the OG Xbox One controller where the ginormous thing.
Goodness, yeah.
the Duke.
Like recently, I was playing a little bit of Outrun 2 on the original Xbox, and I just picked up the original Xbox controller for the first time, and I was like, "Wow, this is a beefy boy." It's just like I had forgotten how. It's just wow. It's like, how do I even, it's like, are my hands tiny? I kept contemplating my life for a second there. But but it was great. It was great.
Yeah, I think you had to use that thing as if it was a keyboard sat on your lap and have to use both hands like over the top. Like it was a crazy, crazy controller.
It was a bit, yeah. It was a bit of a weird one, but it does the job. It works well.
Yeah. So obviously, we got a little hint there of the breadth of stuff that you do in terms of your obviously your skill set, real focus on digital design. Obviously UX experience, user interface design for, I'm assuming, is it the majority of like the marketing side of the SEGA portfolio that you largely specialize in?
Yeah, so I am part of the marketing team. So we have like a smaller little team, which is just 4 of us, which we call the digital design team. And then that team is within the major marketing team. So I do work on a wide variety of titles because of that. There's only 2 of us who are active designers within that team, excluding, of course, our head of department and a PM. And they help us with everything. So because of that, we put a lot of hats on a lot of the time. We have to be very nimble and very flexible and, quick pick up stuff very quickly. Because again, anyone that works in digital, specifically web and design, things move and they move fast. So you have to keep, stay on your toes and keep up. And, it's great to be able to work on that. So there's, for example, just give a quick example. I worked on the Sonic 30th website for the celebration of the Sonic 30th, where it just has like showing events and things that were coming up, and of course promoting Sonic Colors Ultimate, and just a few pieces of information, small bits and bobs like licensing as well. There's just like I said earlier, I end up having my dirty little fingers over a little bit of everything, because we have to be versatile and we have to be available to work on a little bit of everything. I recently worked on Humankind Game, so the Humankind Game released by Amplitude, which is absolutely gorgeous, and I highly recommend everyone. I know I'm biased, but it's such a wonderful, wonderful little game. I recommend everyone checking it out, particularly if they're like 4X/strategy games. They're gonna love it.
It came out fairly recently as well, didn't it? I think a couple weeks ago or so.
Recently. Yeah. It came out very recently, and it has been doing very well. So we've been, very, very lucky, very grateful. And Amplitude Studios, who are part of the SEGA family, based in Paris, they are such a wonderful team to work with. And I've been fortunate to visit them quite often before the pandemic kicked off, to go to Paris, work with them directly. And that's one of the things that's quite lovely at SEGA, to be able to work with the studios directly, because every studio has a very distinct personality. Every studio works on different type of games, and sometimes when they work on similar games, they collaborate. I've seen Relic and Amplitude collaborate. Relic, who work on Company of Heroes and Dawn of War, working with Amplitude, who work on the Endless series, and of course recently Humankind. So it is wonderful to see that collaboration. So I ended up rambling a little bit further down, but long story short, you have to work in marketing, technically. That is what I do, but it ends up being such a small portion of all of the things that we do. It's just I think the whole team is very versatile, and like I said, we end up doing a little bit of everything, and supporting each other. We have like one of the things we have within the office is that always collaborating. So we like to make sure that we collaborate with each other, make sure we can bring the best out of each other, even when sometimes it's not something that we work directly on, or maybe that's not a role. Like case in point, the SEGA streams. It's like I'm not community, I'm not PR. I do have experience in community and PR. I am a consultant on the side, so I do help people with their communities, and as well in the way of how they should, raise really strong communities surrounding whatever subject they want to touch on. But again, that's not my role at SEGA, so I always kept that very separate. But I have been able to bring a little bit of that on the streams, again, it just shows the versatility of the company, of how wonderful it is. It's nice to be able to dip your toes into different things, and different subjects all around, and still within marketing.
Yeah, I love to hear when companies are like opening up opportunities for different particular skill sets, that because it's very easy to say, okay, you're the designer, you just do the design, whereas you don't get to like hop over into the social media side and be front and center on a lot of the live broadcasting stuff, because anything can happen on a live broadcast. It's not for everybody. Camera and talking is not for everybody.
It's very daunting.
Yeah, it can be. Whereas they're like, okay, we've got somebody who's super passionate about wanting to talk about the games, about the products, about the Sega culture, who loves our games, who wants to engage directly with our community. Get this person on our Twitch streams, and just let's all kind of like have a group of us on Twitch talking directly with the community. And I think the past little while, that's been so invaluable to see more like communication, I guess, directly with your fan base. And the more that can happen, just means you're just going to have such a loyal, such a passionate fan base to bounce back and forth off and have some fun with. And it's amazing. Yes. And it's awesome to see and do. Yeah.
It has been awesome to be part of. I mean, it's like I kind of stumbled upon the Sega streams by accident. Well, a little bit by accident. I mean, I couldn't be more grateful for Ibs, who's been on your podcast before and is absolutely wonderful. He's one of the community managers at Sega. He's a community.
No, he's not. He's a pain in the ass. He's horrible.
Don't tell him. He's not going to watch it. So it's okay. It's fine. It's like because I'm on it, he's just going to delete. And never look at it. But Ibs is one of the forces behind the Sega Twitch channel, and I remember the first stream I ever was on. It was like over a couple of years ago, and we had just released Virtua Racing on the Switch, and Virtua Racing is one of my favorite games of all time. I used to play it on the arcade, and then I begged my parents to get the Mega Drive version, which is a very expensive game. It was a very expensive game at the time because of the extra chip, and if you look at the cartridge,
didn't you need the Mega CD or something to run that?
No, you don't. It runs perfectly just on the Mega Drive as is, which is absolutely insane when you think about it.
Yeah, totally.
And one of the beauties of the game is that you can play up to 8 players locally, so you can get 8 players. Like versus locally.
That's insane.
To me, as someone that used to play, I used to play with my brother a lot, and we used to race together. To me, that was just, oh my goodness, I can't believe we're able to do this. So at the time, Ibs asked, "Well, you like the game? Do you want to join the stream? Like, we're trying to get 8 of us to play together." And I thought. Yeah, of course, absolutely, happy to. And I was really nervous, and I barely talked. There was 8 of us already. It was doing the magic behind the scenes, as he always does, and it was wonderful, and I really enjoyed doing that. And then as we got a studio at Sega in our office, that is a streaming studio, and Ibs quite often he'd be like, "Hey, we're doing a stream. Want to be on it?" And I'd be, "Yeah." I mean, and then I did it a few times, and I've done a little bit of TV and broadcasting in the past. I grew up in Portugal. I did a little bit of stuff over there, and I have media training in that regard. But, rusty, it had been a while. So I was very nervous with the prospect of being live, particularly, still my job, so I work for Sega. I was like, I don't want to mess it up live. So I was very, very nervous, but very quickly it went from, oh my God, I need to be on stream and I need to, behave and represent the company appropriately, to I'm just having fun with friends playing some of my favorite games. And they went very quickly from, hey Marta, can you be on the streams, to it was just sending me a message sometimes going, we're doing the stream today. Just expecting me to be there. And there was legit, it's like quite a few of us, again, not part of community or PR, which I thought was brilliant, because a lot of times I think, like, personally, again, I'm biased, but I think we have a wonderful PR team and a wonderful community team at Sega. So I can see it firsthand, like knowing Ibs and knowing a lot of the other people that work on it. I can see the passion there. I can see how hard they work on it. But sometimes it can be very easy. You as a viewer looking at a stream thinking, okay, these are community people. This, they have to interact in a certain way. But with us, it was different. I'm a digital design manager. There was someone that worked in finance. There was someone that worked in distribution. There was someone that worked in this and that. Different sectors, different departments, and that just shows that we're just passionate about having some fun playing games. Yeah. We weren't corporate faces. We're just people that wanted to have a good time. And very quickly we fell in love with it. We fell in love with being live and hanging out with people. I personally quickly fell in love with the idea that someone would say hi in chat and go, "Oh my God, hello." Because we didn't have many viewers at the time. Like, the stream has grown very quickly, and we've been very honored to see that happen. But I remember that at first we didn't have as many people showing up. So every time someone would say hi in chat, "We're still regulars today," I would be so excited. I'd be, "Oh my God, hello, nice to see you. Hi, I'm Marta." And so it's nice. And it was a concept that very quickly, to me, I was like, "Oh, people are coming to hang out with us and talk to us and have a good time." And I fell in love with that. And the more I did the streams, the more I wanted to do them. Sometimes I was one of the people so when we first started working at home, of course, we had to go on a hiatus for the streams because we didn't know exactly how to do it. I did the last studio stream with one of my colleagues, Alex, and we said it live, like, we don't know when we're going to be live again. And I remember feeling a little bit inside, being like, "Oh my God, I'm going to miss this." And I remember seeing, funny enough, Amplitude doing a stream from home. And I went, "Oh my God, it is possible." I was very new I didn't have my own channel. I didn't know what I was doing. So I remember emailing Ibs and a few of the people that used to be on streams going, "Hey, guys, we can stream from home. I've seen Amplitude they're doing a fantastic job. We can do this. We can totally do this from home." And I remember getting an email from Ibs going, "I'm on it. I'm looking into it. Don't worry about it." And then we started doing some tests with a few bits of software, see how we could make it work. And that's kind of the genesis of the SEGA channel from home, and it kind of grew on that and it's like more on a personal level. When I first started streaming, both in the studio but also at home, I think I was going through a period of time that was a bit tougher personally, and I remember thinking how much that was helping me, and I was like, it was a genuine source of happiness, and I was really enjoying myself, and it was nice to be able to share that with the community, with the viewers, with people that today, many of those people have become close friends, and some of them I will even go as far as say that have become family. So it's wonderful to see that whole span of progression that we went through.
I think it's wonderful because I think it's wonderful because if anything has come out of the lockdown, it's the confidence for companies to trust their staff to be able to do these kind of experimental things.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you said it there. You were super like a driving force into building that Twitch platform for the SEGA channel. And
I wanted to help,
exactly, and Ibs was working on it in the background, but you were showing that you were like, okay, I want to make this happen, and I want to grow it, and it became like a daily thing or a weekly thing, depending on how often you do it. That you were depending on, that you loved to do it, and you wanted to continue to do it because you knew that you were building your audience. There was people that were regulars that keep coming back, and you get to talk directly to them. And it is it's that human connection that we don't have because we're in lockdown. But you can do it virtually, and that's the amazing thing with communities, with the Twitch streamers know how to still do like the video conferencing stuff. Whereas a lot of companies, a lot of staff are scrambling, but gamers are like, we got this. We know how to do this.
Yeah, we know how to do this.
We can just jump online and have a lot of fun. And for me, being able to see more developers doing this kind of approach, it is a little insight. It's a little peek behind the curtain to see these are the real people behind the games that we love, and we get to talk to them. We get to engage with them, whereas we normally would never get to. There's a barrier, and a lot of the times that's necessary. 100% that's necessary, but at the same time, we kind of just want to geek out with you over Sonic or Altered Beast or
and we want to geek out with you. That's the thing, and that's the thing that I found very quickly. We just want to have fun with the community. We're not that different. We have very cool jobs. Don't get me wrong. I'm sorry to say it. We're aware. We know. it's great. I'm not gonna. I definitely can't complain. It has been marvelous. But we're also fans, and that's something we say often, and we love sharing the passion and the love for the games together with the people that that play our games, that buy our games, that the ones that make it happen. Because I know it sounds cliched, and most people go, "Oh, without you, we weren't." But that's true. It's like without the people that that play our games, we wouldn't be anywhere. And I think it's very easy to fall into tick boxes when it comes to stuff like either streaming or YouTubing or anything on that regards, interacting with communities, where it's just like, okay, tick the box, like say hi. But like for me, Jen, there's even this joke where I say hi to everyone, either if it is on a SEGA channel, on my own personal channel. I like to say hi to everyone. Sometimes it gets difficult because there's a lot of people, but there was always a core. It wasn't just me, it was all of us. There was always a core where it was important to acknowledge everyone that comes into the streams. And because, it's very easy to say, okay, there's a chat and forget that there's humans, like real human beings over there. Okay, sometimes they're not, but that's a completely different discussion. But for the most part, there's real human beings wanting to interact with you, having a genuine human connection. And I think it's very easy to sometimes remember that. And to me, it was just brilliant to be able, to be in an environment where that was allowed, where we were genuinely allowed to be ourselves. We could be loud, we could do our own jokes, but at the same time, it's just show the game and play the game and hang out with everyone, and like you were saying, geek out together. Yeah. I think that's one of the best things. That's where streaming thrives the most. It's just being able to geek out together about the things that we love.
Yeah, because we're all there because we love video games. At the end of the day, it's a platform built on geeking out over something. And like what you said there rings so true, because if somebody is tuning into your channel, they've landed on your channel from X number of avenues they've got there, and then like if they're just getting like ignored when they're trying to chat and engage, then they're just going to bounce to the millions of other channels which are out there doing it at the same time. But if you're like actively trying to like bring them into the stream, then of course they're gonna want to stick around. They're gonna maybe tell their friends about it. It's like, hey, I was on this person's stream. It was so fucking cool. I was on. They were chatting with me, and and it grows and builds like that, and then they feel like they're engaging, they're connecting, whereas maybe because again, like what you said, you don't know what they're going through. They might be having a really bad day, whatever. And it's sometimes if they, and this is kind of getting a little bit into like the trolley side of it, I suppose. Whereas if like a comment comes in, whereas maybe they didn't mean to, because you don't know the context behind it, but maybe it was a little bit like a little bit off, a little bit trolly. Yeah. And it's hard to not just like immediately ban them, smack them down, and just say, look, I kind of get where you're going from, but let's just talk about like
exactly.
And kind of and work out why that comment came in. And maybe it's just like, and a lot of that comes from, oh shit, sorry, I didn't even mean to say it like that. I didn't mean to, because text is tone deaf, completely tone deaf.
Exactly.
Like sarcasm doesn't translate into tweets, or anything, or deadpan humor. It's it's interesting. It's a Wild West, really, isn't it?
It can definitely be tough, but it's like we've definitely encountered that. I've personally encountered that quite a few times, where sometimes someone will say something and I'll either make a lighthearted joke about it, or like full on interact with the person. And a lot of times they kind of just they mellow, and it's like if they're trying to troll or they're trying to maybe, because a lot of times like when people try to hurt others, it's because they're hurting themselves. And I found that a lot, that on Twitch, again, sometimes there's just trolling for the sake of trolling because they think it's fun, but a lot of times if you interact with people directly and you give them the opportunity to be a better person, a lot of times they surprise you and they are better. And I've encountered that a few times where people come in onto my streams or the SEGA streams, and I find people being maybe a little bit not the most pleasant, and I interact with them, and they become regulars, and they enjoy the streams, and they actually, you know, they just have a good time. So it's nice to see. It can be difficult to have that level of patience with people, and you know what, sometimes it's okay not to. Sometimes it's okay to click the ban, you know, like do the ban or do the timeout or whatever needs to be done. But if you have that room in you to do it, it is worth it. Doesn't always work out.
That's true. Very true. You got to protect your own mental health at the same time.
particularly as a woman in the industry, a woman on Twitch, you experience some interesting comments, you experience some interesting interactions. I always take them lighthearted, and I try to have fun with it the best way I can. But yeah, sometimes it doesn't work, and you just have to accept, do the ban, and move forward the best way you can.
Yeah, well, there's always a limit where enough is enough. Now it's time to lay down the law. Okay, you're gone because you're just constantly at it, sort of thing. So and I'm all for that as well. It's like you got to do what's best for your mental headspace, and also 100%. The other people in your community as well. It's like, wait, I didn't come to this channel for this, and this person just come in and creating this kind of toxicity, and it's like we don't need that. It's so important to keep it inclusive and make sure it's a good space for everybody. Just to again getting back to geeking out and having fun about loving games, and so much fun to just chat and geek out. That's at the end of the day, that's what it is.
It really is.
I know. Oh my goodness, Marta, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk with you. I feel like it's been such a breathless 45-50 minutes.
I'm sorry, I can blab for ages. I do apologize for all the rambling, but it's such a good time. It's lovely to geek out together, isn't it? It's just
totally. I was actually gonna showcase my Art of Sonic the Hedgehog book, but it is buried under a whole stack of other books. So another time we'll geek out over.
Rookie mistake. You should be at the top. I should be the book that is right at the top. I guess you're just gonna have to put up with me again and show the book to everyone.
you are welcome back anytime you like, 100%, anytime you like.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you.
So very very quickly before you go, what are you playing? What are you playing it just now? What's you a big fan of just now in terms of there's so many games? There's so many games coming out.
So many games, such little time. So it's a bit difficult. I, funny enough, jumped back into Streets of Camarocho, which was a mini game that we released during the 60th anniversary for Sega. And it's very good. It is a mix of Streets of Rage 2 and Yakuza, and it's such good fun. And I've legit had the game running for like a week because I'm on like round 20 and I don't want to lose, so I want to keep going. So I've been playing a lot of that. I've been addicted to the new Streets of Rage 4 DLC, which again, it's not a Sega game. It is a Sega IP. Streets of Rage is a Sega IP, but it is the wonderful work of GodCrush.emu and Lizard Cube, and they are absolutely wonderful. They absolutely smashed it out of the park with Streets of Rage 4 DLC. The game itself was already grand, but the level of work they put into Streets of Rage for Dr. X's DLC is just like Miss X DLC, not Dr. S. Ridiculous. It's just wonderful, and I highly recommend. So I've been playing a lot of that as well, and of course Yakuza. I still haven't finished Yakuza Like a Dragon. So it's
a big game. You're allowed to be not finished it in time. It's fine.
It is a very, very big boy. But I've been meaning to jump into Judgment because Lost Judgment is coming out.
Dude, you gotta
very, very soon, and I wanna get into the bandwagon. I wanna join the party because I've played a little bit of it. Again, perks of the job. You get to play a little bit of all of our games at some point. And but I haven't been able to sink my teeth into it.
Yagami is such a cool character. He, especially with his tight jeans and leather jacket, he makes it work. So cool. Yeah, and the hair. So cool. I mean, come on, what?
Wonderful skateboards. It's like just a wonderful, wonderful character overall. And it's like everyone keeps telling me you have to play it. It's like I know, but the infinite backlog. It's just so many games, such little time. And for those of you that don't know, if you want to get into the video games industry, one thing you'll find is that you'll spend a lot of time working on games and not playing them as much as you'd like. So,
damn it! Don't tell them that.
Secrets of the business. I'm sorry. But yeah, those are some of the games that I've either been playing or been meaning to play. But yeah, it's just difficult. It's just difficult to find the time for everything. But Streets of Rage 4 is one I jump into regularly. Play it regularly on my channel as well.
That studio absolutely crushed that comeback of that game. Like the art, the music, and the feel of the fighting as well. Like the strikes, and you get that little kind of animation judder when Axl Rose punches something. It's like
just beautiful.
It's just perfect. Yeah,
it's absolutely beautiful. They did like an outstanding job. Like absolute fan. I remember when I was told that this was a thing that was going to happen, and I was like, oh my god, this is so exciting. It's like, and we found working at SEGA found out way earlier than it was when it was announced. So I was like, oh my god, I have to stay quiet. I want to tell everyone. This is such good news. So yeah, it's
Did Ibs confiscate your phone by any chance to say, like, Marta, I'm stealing your I'm taking over all of your social channels. You're in lockdown. You're like, you're not allowed.
Ibs was the person that broke the news to me. He was like, hey, I know you like Streets of Rage a lot. Yeah, you know this is happening. And I was like, what? I didn't know at the time. So I was like, oh my god. So yeah, it was very, very, very exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah, such a great game.
It's so good. So Marta, let's wrap this up. Where can people get in contact with you if they have any questions about getting started, getting a break in the industry, or just to reach out to you about the Twitch streams, voting for you, of course, at the Game Hearts Awards. That's the priority. Come on.
I mean, it's very kind, but there's so many wonderful streamers and content creators that are nominated, that are both my friends and people that I admire. So no harm taken if people decide that they don't want to vote for me. So it's absolutely fine. But
you're going to ban them though if they don't vote for you. That's
I would never. Maybe, who knows? But if people want to reach out to me and want to talk to me about getting started in the video games industry, talk about design, or community building, consulting, whatever tickles your fancy, you can reach out to me at This Is Marta with 3 A's on Twitch. So it'll be twitch.tv/This Is Marta. 3 A's, not 1, not 2, 3.
The triple A, the AAA Marta channel. Yeah. AAA.
So it's like I'm live. I'm usually live Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 9 p.m. Usually, I say usually because it's difficult sometimes to get the schedule going with a full-time job as well. You're always more than welcome to join me there if you have questions, want to hang out. I'm always very reactive towards chat, so I like to talk to people. So it's nice. It's nice to hang out. You can also reach out to me on Twitter at myuni, which is also the same name if you want to vote for me on the top charity stream of the year. That's the name that's being used. It's at myuni on Twitter as well. DM me, talk to me. I have a Discord if you want to hang out in as well. Just find me on the places, and of course quite regularly you can find me on the SEGA channel, so that's twitch.tv/SEGA. We don't have a regular schedule, but it would be lovely if you tickled that follow button so you find out when we next stream.
Yeah, well, thank you. That was a breathless run through of all of the social channels. Oh my goodness.
I tried.
So friends, if you've enjoyed this podcast, please remember to give this show a like, a follow, and keep supporting it so we can have even more amazing guests. And 100% we're going to be getting Marta back on the show for as many appearances as she wants. Until next time, everybody, take care, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.